All right, we are live. Not sure how many people are jumping right into the feed. All right, let me turn that down, getting some feedback. And I'm going to go ahead and jump on my devices and make sure everything's working right, make sure sound is good. See, we got a couple of people in watching now on YouTube. If it will pick up the feed. All right, I'm glad you're able to catch one live, Jeannie. This was a very, very interesting video. It's an excerpt from the David Icke video yesterday that got banned almost immediately after it was up. It is on londonreal.tv, and you can go there and watch the whole episode. I'm going to watch the whole thing with my family here in a bit. It's 2.5 hours. It's a lot of information, mind-blowing information, a lot of information just touched on, and you know, you've been connected, you know, regarding all of the things that many of us have been talking about and even ridiculed for talking about, now is being put out in the open and disclosed to the mainstream public, especially in this time that, you know, the internet was meant to take us down. I'm glad to see you jump in the chat, Victoria. Good morning, guys. And again, anybody watching live on YouTube or Facebook, I encourage you to share this, hit the thumbs up, help with the algorithms. I don't know how long it'll be on YouTube. Some things have been sliding by on Facebook, but they have been getting shadow banned. And so, you know, it's just really hard to tell how many eyes are really getting on these. You know, sometimes I have hundreds of views, and sometimes I have, you know, right around 50 views. And it's really, again, hard to gauge who's really, what kind of reach these videos are having. The one that got blocked, I just mirrored this small excerpt again. It's maybe 9 or 10 minutes, and it was blocked immediately. And it's just a small excerpt where David Icke talks about exosomes, and so it's something that I've been talking about and touching on. And again, we'll go more in depth. I don't know if I'll do the show tonight or tomorrow, but sometime we'll do the show regarding the fallacy and deceptions in virology and vaccines. And so it's a very in-depth paper that I'll be reading from and sharing information from. And so this is just kind of a little preview to that show that we'll be having on that. And so again, share this out, family. If you, I see 11 eyeballs on it already, 3 on Facebook, and I don't know, for some reason, is everything coming through okay on YouTube, guys? Is the feed coming through on YouTube? Because I'm having a hard time picking it up on my device, and I don't know if I'm just slowed down because I have too many devices connected to my hotspot, to my connection, or what the issue is here. But I do want to make sure that everything is coming through okay before I start. Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome, Victoria. I'm glad that you got a chance to watch it. You know, share these small excerpts. Glad to see you jump in, Karen Lynn. I'm glad that you shared it, Jeannie. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lacey. And so I'm sorry if the connection is slowing down. If it's a little bit lag, if there's some lag, I apologize, family. I am going to go ahead and jump out here. We're not doing music today. We're not going to wait for the rooms to get full. I want to get this up because I do plan on driving around, doing some things I didn't get to do yesterday. My devices are really giving me a lot of issues. I broke both of my phones. I'm using my old phone that's broken, and my newer phone broke when I was working on the roof. And so I do want to get out, and good to see you, Holy Rebellion of the Wise. It's really crazy to hear what's going on in Austria. And so again, our affirmations of awareness and change are really going out into the universe for you guys out there. And so, but yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into this video. I'm glad that you guys can jump in. I want to get it out there. There's a ton of censorship, a ton of shadow banning, but now that people are locked away in their house, a lot of people are digging for truth as to what's really going on here and why there's this great deception, why hospitals are empty, why there's all of these lies. I mean, the fact that masks are being pushed and gloves when these things aren't really effective against this virus, if it was even what it's, what they're calling it. And so let's get this video started, Exosomes, and we will see why so many people are testing positive right now for this virus. It's something that is very easily explained, and it's not what you think, family. It's not this pandemic and this outbreak like you think. And so let's jump over here. We're already mirroring. Let's see if we can watch it straight from my channel where it's blocked.
You test for this genetic material and you've got COVID-19, but there's another part of this. What this test does is it amplifies the material. In other words, it makes it larger, keep it simple. And as it gets larger in the cycles of amplification, what you say is causing the disease gets bigger and you can see it more, or say you can. I'm going to come to that in a second. But all the other content of the genetic material also gets amplified. And loads of this genetic material is already in the body of virtually everybody. And this is how the test works. You can fix the figures so easy like this. You do, say, 30, 35 cycles of amplification. You're going to bring into the test positive a series of things within that genetic material that become there to be seen at that level. So you're going to get some positives, which you're going to call COVID-19, but you're going to get some negatives because you have brought all that material into the testing process. But you amplify the genetic material, say, I don't know, 60 times. You have brought so much of the content of the genetic material to be entering the test process that at that level of amplification, virtually everybody will test positive, because all the genetic material that's in most people's body will now be testing positive in the test through this greater amplification.
So does that make sense, family? I mean, it really makes a lot of sense to me, and it really makes a lot of sense if you listen to what's being said and you're willing to do the research and break these things down and learn for yourself how these things work. And so, again, another reason why I stop these things and break them up. This is going to be a short video. It's not going to be a 3.5-hour video like my lives are lately have been. But I want to explain one of the reasons why I stopped these videos and add commentary during the video is to try and prevent it from being blocked, to try and prevent it from being removed. And again, I've got it posted on my page, but I give all full attribution and state clearly that I'm using this for, under the Freedom of Information and Fair Use Act, just reporting. And, it's on londonreal.tv. I've got the link actually for the whole video up in the description of this video. And so you can go and watch the whole 2.5 hours live, or the live stream from yesterday, 2.5 hours, that's been uploaded on London Real. I think they might have it on Vimeo as well, but the link for the one that I know is active is in the description. And so I encourage you, after we're done here, go and watch it, because there's a lot of mind-blowing information that's very pertinent for the average American citizen, for the average citizen of humanity, the average person. If you're breathing, this is important information for you to know, because this right now is affecting everybody on a worldwide scale. And so let's go ahead and continue with the video.
This means that the number of cycles of amplification you use, say in different countries, dictates how many positive tests you get.
And we've got connection issues. Let me jump over here. Let's see if we're still connected. We are still connected. Looks like the broadcast is still going. So just sit tight, family. Let me see if we can't get this going.
COVID-19.
And amplification is how sensitive that test is.
Imagine you've got something the size of a pin, symbolically, a pinhead.
And by the way, I do have a video shared on my Facebook page from Andrew Kaufman, and I will be mirroring that video here as well within the next couple of days. And so you guys will have a full hour and a half interview with Andrew Kaufman, and I'll do that on a live stream as well, so we can interact in the chat, and you guys can have an opportunity to see it live before there's any issues with it being uploaded or blocked or removed. And so look forward to that, family.
On david.com when this is over. What happens when a cell gets poisoned is it secretes something called exosomes. This is part of the natural, everyday immune system response to poison cells. And these exosomes, as they are released, and they're only released when the cell is poisoned, and it can be poisoned through many, many reasons. It can be toxicity. Wait for this one. It can be poison through stress and fear.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine the stress and fear that's going on in the world now.
Are you starting to see where all of this is being pushed towards? What direction all of this is being pushed towards? They want to put fear into you. That's the agenda. The agenda is fear, family. When people learn that when they stand up and don't fear those that appear to have power over them, that this whole charade will fall. When people wake up and open their eyes to the fact that all of this has been a sham. Good to see you, Jamie. I'm glad you could jump in. Got a mod in that I love. Jamie, he's a wonderful dude. Just like all of us, the awakening man can hit us like a ton of bricks. And so I'm just really, really, truly honored to be even a little piece of what Jamie's experienced in his growth. And so, family, again, if this helps you or helps you grow in any way, share the content, give a thumbs up so the content can get out there, help with their algorithms, and again, just subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. We'll jump back into this, but again, fear. I was telling my daughter last night, we had a discussion at the bottom of the stairs when I was wrapping up for my live, wrapped up really late, and You know, it's just one of those things that no matter how informed you are, it can be fearful. A lot of things going on, a lot of changes, and these are cosmic changes. These aren't just changes with our society, with our government structure. All of the structures that we know are fading away and being replaced with a new structure, and new structures based on love, on compassion, and all of that that is not fit for that is going to be removed, and it is being removed. We see it being removed in our own walks, in our own self, as we come to that moment of self-realization, and we see the things that come to the surface and that literally get purged out by that spirit of truth, that brings a pure heart, purifies your heart. What does it say in scripture? That it turns it from a heart of stone into a heart of flesh, right? And so as that happens, it breaks the stone case around that heart of flesh. It breaks it down, and with each crack and each fracture and each piece that falls away, there's a pain, and there's a hurt, and there's a realization that changes need to be made. Changes that can be difficult, changes that can really cause you to question the essence of who you are. But that's what good comes from facing these kind of traumas and these fears, is that you come down to the essence of who you are, and that essence is the spirit of truth, the spirit of God, the creator himself is your true essence, family. And so don't be in fear. That's I try to express that every day, in many different ways to my family. And so I just I shared that with my daughter. Don't be in fear. You have the essence of God in you, and that's what all of this is for. Is they want to drive you into a corner and have you in fear, and we see it happening in the masses. We see it happening throughout the masses. People are in a mass panic and just being controlled by fear in a way that I've never seen before in my lifetime, and never even heard of throughout the history that we've been given. And so we are in a time of change, and it's an exciting time, family. And so be excited and be encouraged, and continue to work on that spirit of forgiveness, compassion, and love, because that's really the only things that are going to stand. And if you're basing your whole essence of who you are on anger and bitterness, and even fear and resentment and despair. There's so much despair in the truth community. So many people, oh my God, the world is ending, this and that. And yet, you know what? No matter what happens, I know that the transformation that's going on right now is for good. And we just need to have those goggles of truth on to know that we are going to make it through this, family, and that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and that perfect love casts out fear. Just remember that. Be in that perfect love, and everything that goes against that love will crumble away. It'll fall away. It cannot stand against that love of the Creator. Again, the essence of who you are. And so remember who you are, and that you encompass all things, that you're connected to all things, and that you have authority over all things. That's one thing that they don't want you to know in this fear propagated campaign, all of this bull crap that they're pushing. They don't want you to know that you have authority, the authority of the Son, the authority of Christ. You've been given the authority of Christ. He said, greater works than I will you do. And so stand on that promise, stand on that truth, that you have the authority, and that your faith can move mountains. And that's what's standing before us now, a mountain unlike we've ever seen before in humanity. And we are shifting into that age of perfect love and of knowing that perfect love and knowing one another, being connected by that filament of love, just as we're connected to the sun and all of the planets and the stars and the cosmos. We're connected to one another, family. We're connected to the earth. And this earth is not going away. This earth is not dying. It's being made new. These are the birth pangs. And there's difficulty, there's pain. You can lose your breath, have the wind knocked out of you. But you got to continue to push forward and to persevere, knowing that you will catch that second wind. And when you do, man, and your lungs fill up and you're able to take that deep breath of life and have gratitude for what that feels like, having just seconds before not knowing if you were going to be able to gain that breath back. I know it can feel like you're losing your breath when you're thinking about all of this crap that's going on, all of these things that are just flowing throughout society, throughout the bio mind, the bio heart, the biometric system that we're all connected by. We feel the waves of every emotion that crash against the stones. And so, family, just remember that you're not alone in this. We're not alone in this. That's what this is about. It's meant to help us connect with one another on a level that we've never been able to break down those strongholds. All of the cultural differences, all of the religious differences, all of the personal offenses, family. Christ was so grieved that he sweat blood because he knew how bullheaded and stubborn humanity was and the depths of hell that we would have to go to the point of near destruction of our own spirit, to come to the realization that we are all one. And that the only way to get past all of these differences is to love one another as you love yourself, as you love God. Family, I didn't mean to go off on that rant. When the Creator has me say some things, I just really have to say them. And so let's continue with this video.
During this lockdown, it can be caused by disease, infection, and it can be caused by electromagnetic fields, which will become very relevant when we get into
Something
5G.
I've been talking a lot about, electromagnetic
So these
fields.
exosomes are released, and one of the roles of exosomes.
And so there you go, family. A lot of deception. A lot of deception that many people are having a hard time coming to terms with, taking a hold of, getting a grip on. And family, that's why we have to just be strengthened in knowing that we have never left. We've never been forsaken. All things are being made new. As my sister said, oh, let me get up to the comment that is. If I can find it. Let me see if I can find the right comment. Doris says, This world will go away and a new one will come. Hope this isn't a feel-good message. That's why I responded. I don't really often these are pretty heavy topics, and so I don't know if it's a feel-good message. I do want to encourage you that you have the Spirit of God in you, that all of the things that resonate as true, noble, worthy, faithful, honorable, righteous, praiseworthy, all those things that we've been taught, that we know in our heart are true. They will stand forever. And the lie that's being broke down, that's where all of this pain, confusion, and anger, distrust, all of these things, it's rising up in all of us, family. And the more that we see these truths, the more difficult these things are going to be for people to handle. And so as these truths come out, as these things are being revealed, that a lot of what the foundation of what we've built this society on, this world society, forget the cultural boundaries, but what this world society has been built on, when the masses come to terms with the fact that it's all built on a foundation of sand, and that sand is shifting right now, family. That sand is shifting, and the foundations are moving. And so what are you basing your foundation on? Are you going to continue to try and grasp that sand, as much sand as you can in between your fingers? Or are you going to continue, or are you going to move that sand out of the way? Allow it to shift. Allow this shift to happen in your life, and allow those old structures, those old binding structures, to fall away. That way you can be made new. Rebuild, family. That's what this time is for. Rebuild. Hate is not going to stand. It doesn't matter what anybody tries to do. Hate's not going to stand. You just have to be aware. Take the necessary precautions and move wisely. Navigate through these times based off of what the Spirit of God is showing you. This is not the time to bicker and fight, family. This is not the time for division. I said it in last night's show. A house divided cannot stand. A house divided will not stand. And in this time, as my sister pointed out, this world is going away. We have to be very aware. What are we allowing to stand in our lives? Are we allowing resentment, bitterness? I mean, I know so many people that have been hurt by the church. Once you know truth, and once you see things for what they are, don't allow it to keep you in bondage, regardless of what kind of hurt it is or trauma it is. That's where we're disempowered, and we give up our authority and our sovereignty and our power when we fall victim to the traumas continuously. And so, family, I hope that video was informative for you. I hope that it helped you in some way. I hope that this live stream was helpful to you in some way. I am just going to run through this chat real quick and see exactly interaction there was, because there's always great interaction. And I love giving props to all of you guys for jumping in and joining in the live, as it's a whole different type of energy when you catch it live as opposed to the replay. But if you caught the replay, if you're catching this on the replay, I encourage you to share it. Again, give the thumbs up, subscribe, get the information out there. Family, people not only need to hear these facts about this deception that's people are being played, and they don't need to just hear about the fact that they're being played, but they also need to be encouraged to know that we're not disempowered, family. We're not we have authority. We have authority, and you need to stand on that. We need to stand on that. I appreciate that, Cypher 9. We're supposed to be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. And while I might not always be the most gentle, I do try and be as wise as I can. And, you know, part of that wisdom is knowing that you know nothing but what the Father shows you, what the Creator shows you. Because again, I don't want to attribute a gender to the Almighty Creator, which we're all fragments of, men and women. We're all children of this power, of this energy, of this source. And so the Creator is in you, and we are capable of overcoming these things. We are, nothing can separate us from that love and power, and no weapon formed against us can stand against us. And so, again, I want to thank Jeannie Appleweed for jumping in the chat. Victoria Cunningham was able to jump in and catch the live. Aaron Lynn, Lacey Blessed, Holy Rebellion of the Wise. I appreciate all your input, guys. Karen Lynn says, yes, healing, Earthship, and free the slave planet is becoming a mantra. And it is. It is. Earthship. What does that look like? That looks like so many things on so many levels. And it can start from just getting back into living symbiotically with nature and quit harming our environment. You know what I'm saying? Taking from the natural resources and wasting of it. We'll talk about that in the later show when I get back from recording the hospitals. Got some information about the food right now is being cornered into people who produce food, food production companies. I don't know what you want to call them. I know definitely milk production has been halted, and truckers and factories are literally dumping out their milk into the drain. And it's some crazy things, family, but we have to know that that there is a way, and there's a way to get through this by returning back to the way of living symbiotically with nature, planting our own food, being self-sufficient and self-governed, and being able to take responsibility and accountability for self enough that you can be self-governed, and you don't have to have that authority over you, but you just are so connected and so one with source, with God, that you know what to do. And we already have that. We already have that. And again, the chains that bind us are falling away. And I just I praise and give glory and gratitude that that's happening for this planet and for humanity. And cosmically, I mean, there's some major cosmic changes coming. And so if you're into that kind of thing, I'll do some a live stream on some of the things that are happening and the alignments that are going on. And one of the reasons why we really have to be careful about not being in a spirit of fear throughout this month, and really allowing whatever comes to the surface, releasing it and letting it go, because right now we're setting the tone for the next cycle. And what we carry into that cycle is going to manifest in our reality. And so we have to really be aware of those things. And so family, let me continue on through this. So truth does set us free, Karen Lynn. Theodora was able to jump in live. Again, Jamie, my brother Freedom Fighter, was able to jump in live. Awesome moderator. Broken 76. Thanks for jumping in and contributing to the chat. Hope the information was helpful to you, Emma Ross. these things are very difficult, and so we have to be there for one another and just support those around us that are having a difficult time through this. It's very hard when you're having a difficult time dealing with these things yourself, but to see those that are having a difficult time with this, you really have to have that heart of compassion and continue to just reinforce and instill hope and just be that solid cornerstone and foundation that we're all built on, family, that we build on one another and off of one another, and just grow the love and the unity in this in this realm. And so the Broken 76 says, I went for a walk today and had to come home because I was getting so pissed off at how afraid people are of people. I pray all the time people wake up one at a time and quickly. God bless them. And people have woken up exponentially over the past week. There's been an amazing shift, and and I don't think that we should take that lightly, take it for granted. People are waking up. The fact that people are asking questions right now is just one of the most amazing things that can happen, is for people to start asking for truth, not just asking questions, going in circles, but asking truth. And so let's continue on down here. And so again, my dear sister, B. Doris, I'll butcher your last name, so I'm not going to try it. I tried it in church, and I butchered it there. So, but Doris is just wonderful, a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul, definitely one that just shines that light of Christ, that has that anointing of the Creator. And so, thank you for jumping in and watching, and contributing as well. And let's see who else was able to jump in. Angel Pardee, I'm glad that you were able to jump in. Angel says, I just woke up for the day. I am just fading away. At least that's how I feel. Well, I want to ask anybody who's watching to just go ahead and send positive love, energy, balance, and just high vibratory frequencies to Angel today. Again, we're all connected through that filament of love, and there's nothing that separates us, family. We're all connected. And so let's again, this is part of what I wanted to touch on, is we have to help one another by being in that spirit of strength and of a sound mind, and of finding that balance for self, so that you know how to not only balance the energy that's in you and not allow it to be manipulated into a spirit of fear and of confusion, but remain in that spirit of strength and a sound mind, and then that will affect those around you. Literally, it's like that shining of the face, right? That Shekinah glory, or that the shining of that bright light of the biophotonic energy of the Christic anointing that's on you, in you, the Spirit of God lighting the way in this dark world. And so let's be that for each other, family. Let's encourage one another. Let's gas each other up. Let's love one another. Let's forgive one another. Let's have passion for one another. Let's have empathy for one another. Let's feel one another's pain and transmute that pain into love and wellness. And so we'll continue on through these comments, and then I'll wrap up this live, because I do plan on trying to get out. If I can get one of my devices working right, I plan on driving around to some of the places here in Aurora and Denver that are supposed epicenters of this pandemic, and getting some footage and coming back here and sharing it with you folks here on YouTube. I will be streaming live from Facebook, but until I get to that 1,000 count on my subscribers list on YouTube, I'm not able to live stream from my mobile device. Unless I take my laptop, I won't be able to live stream. Who knows? maybe I'll take my wife's Surface, Surface Pro, and use that and be able to get some footage with that, and just use my hotspot to connect for that. And so, but yeah, so let's keep rolling through this. I'm just planting and gardening and spending as much I can on sun. In the sun, it is very strong, burns you ASAP. Yeah, but it's great. Get that vitamin D, and the heat. Heat kills the virus. That's why they want you to stay in your house. Don't stay in your house. Go outside. Stand in your window. Open the window. Get some fresh air. Get some sunlight. I'm about to, as soon as I log off of here, I'm gonna go love on my family, say good morning to my kids, and go outside. Take my dog out front. Get sunlight. Might just throw on some shirts because it's going to be almost 70 in Colorado today. Sun is out, hardly any clouds, very clear. Definitely haven't seen any chemtrails for a couple of days, and I'm really excited. I'm really encouraged, and so I want you to be encouraged as well. Get out there like Theodora, do some planting, gardening. If you got the seeds and the equipment and the know-how, get out there and plant it. If you don't have know-how, get on YouTube, download some videos on gardening, and learn, because that's an essential skill that you're going to need moving forward to navigate through these difficult times. And so thank you for that comment. Not much sun, Jeannie says, outside in Cleveland. Angel Party. The Broken says, Angel Party, you ever see the never-ending story? Don't let the darkness get you. That's great encouragement. In fact, that's funny that you say that, because just watch out with my family just a few days ago. So I had been wanting to watch it for a while. I don't watch a lot of TV, but that's one that I was just really feeling that we should watch. And so I really like this. And so I'm going to pop it up there. Karen Lynn says, angels, we are forgiving the evil that we, the people, did not see, even in movies. So much pain causes my heart to overflow. And I agree, Karen Lynn. That's part of our responsibility as way showers, as sons and daughters of the Most High, is to be that light in this dark world and to forgive that. You really have to look at the things that hold us, allowed to hinder our hearts and keep us from forgiving ourselves, that we've held against ourselves. Learn how to forgive yourself, anything that you hold against yourself, including many of the traumas that were caused against us, that were executed against us. We hold in some way subconsciously, we hold ourselves responsible for. And so that's part of that healing, is healing from not only the traumas of what another person has done, but the way that you might feel about yourself through that trauma. And even just any regrets, like, man, how many regrets for the people that we've lost, arguments that we've had. Again, with all of these influxes of energies, I had an argument with my brother the other day, and it was really silly, and both of us were just both agreed that, we were both embarrassed, and just it was not, these things aren't necessary, family. As much as depends on you, live peaceably amongst all men. And so we have to learn how to move past little disagreements so that we can deal with big disagreements, and we can just unite and become one. That's really what this is about. Unity in the spirit of truth, in the spirit of the Creator. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment. Very good comment. And Theodora says, we have 100% clear blue, no clouds for 3 days, 20 to 25 degrees Celsius in EU. Angel says, thanks. I'll have to watch it again. I'm just so freaking tired. Hey, the replay is there. Hopefully it'll be up. If not, it'll be up on my Facebook. And so I am going to go in and change the description of my channel not only the description in the video, but of my channel, to include my Facebook page, and a lot of the videos that get removed from here can be found there oftentimes. And so hopefully this one will stay up for a while, because we did more than just mirroring that video. And yeah, and so the Broken 76 says, I haven't seen a Kemplin in a month here in Salt Lake City. That's nice, at least. That is nice. That's amazing. That's amazing. Karen says Luciferians being cold, and that is, people are afraid of the culling, right? People are afraid that we are being depopulated, and that it's a culling against humanity. Really, it's those who have executed and taken advantage of humanity that are being removed from this system. It's that I think we're back. I think we're live again, family. Let me know if you, in the chat, if you have the signal again. Right now it looks like we're back up and running. Just want to make sure that we are up and running again, that everything's working again. Again, connection issues. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing connection issues. I do want to encourage you, emails in the description, and you don't even got to take the time to email. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the drop a comment in the video once the video is done, and let me know how things are looking where you're at. That's one thing that I've been asking. I know that I've got friends and family all over the world, and so let me know what things are looking at in your area of the world, as well as your area of the country. What does it look like in your region? I know things are looking different in just right here in the United States. Things are looking very different, state to state, county to county. Again, in one of the videos I did, I think it's the one that got banned, that I have the description for that one. That one's still up on Facebook, so go catch that while you can. That one got removed almost immediately. And but I talk about how National Guard has been deployed in, I believe it was in Nevada and in Texas, and they may start going door to door. In last night's video, I talked about spraying in certain areas of the country, disinfectant on people, using drones and using other types of various other methods. A lot of footage I've shared and things that expose these things. And so let me know how things are in your area, and let's go ahead and finish getting through these. These comments. So that's where we're at. Luciferians being cold. Yes, the evil of this world is being removed. It really is. And really what it is we have this view on it as evil and good, but really what's happening is things are being brought back into balance. Excuse me. Things are being brought back into balance, and all things are being made right and being made new. And so that which was out of balance is being brought back in order. And again, part of that is the authority that we have. We have to stand on it. We have to take responsibility and know that we have that power, the anointing of Christ in us. And so we can overcome these things. And we don't have to worry. We don't have to fear. We don't have to stress. Emma Ross says, love has won. And I agree. That's why I do what I do. I believe that. I believe that I've seen that. And so I want to encourage you, family, don't be in the spirit of fear, and have trust and know that love is won. Have faith and know that love is won. Don't just believe, but know in your heart that love is won. And so Cypher 9 says, wise as a serpent, thanks for the vid. You know what? I might be as ugly as a serpent. Actually, I don't even think serpents are ugly. I think they're beautiful. I think snakes are beautiful, but I appreciate that. Again, try to be as wise as we can. That's what, again, I want to encourage each and every one of you, and is that you be wise. Be wise as a serpent, and it's gentle as a dove. And so had commented during the video that she agreed a lot of fake news out there. The rich are trying to control us, and it is. It's a very small number of people, a very small group of people, a very select few bloodlines that are that have control of the world. You know, you don't have to. It's not about money. It's not about being rich. It's about having control. And when they have that much money, that much wealth, power automatically comes with it. And so you can, they essentially are printing up fake money, paper money. This whole system that we've propped up is really a system of usury. And so we have to be aware of these things, fam. What are we willing to give up of our spirit to try and hold on to that which is not compatible with the spirit, which only affects the spirit, damages the spirit, scars the spirit. And then every time you go out and go after that, which is fading away, all of these structures again are fading away. And when you go out and go after that, what happens? You allow your spirit to be damaged again. When you step back into those things that keep you in bondage, whether it's the thought forms or the emotional damage from the past, whatever it might be, current situations, present circumstances, you're allowing your spirit to be scarred. And so have to be aware. That's the key in what she said. They're trying to control us. Nobody can control your spirit. And people, the masses right now, are showing that they're allowing their minds to be controlled. And that is what government means, is govern is to control, and is your menta, your mind, your mentality. And so they're controlling the mentality of mankind right now, of humankind, men and women. And it's just amazing, family, that we need to wake up to these things. Um, let's see. So Cypher 9, I appreciate you being able to jump in. You're so doves cooling in the oak now. That's awesome. Appleweed, where's Lacey Blessed? Jeannie, she's actually watching on Facebook, and I'm getting comments from both platforms here on StreamYard, and that's why when I jump out into the screen share, I don't get the chat from Facebook or from YouTube, and so I've got to go back and forth on different devices to try and keep up, which is kind of a difficult task. And so hopefully soon I'll get some things set up so to where I have dual monitors and I'm able to screen share a little bit easier and see what's going on with my other software and keep the chat up. That way I can interact a little bit more. Again, as you guys know, once I get on a roll, though, a lot of times I just keep going. And so Karen Lynn also added that white-winged doves are nesting in the trees in the backyard, a roadrunner too. I feed everything so much trust from nature, and that's awesome. I think that's the way it should be. We should be feeding nature and at peace with it. And so Cypher 9 says, sub pre-K, you'll be there soon. Truth shall set you free. And says, yep, I get mad too. Hard not to go there. That's something that we have to really be aware of right now, is the massive amounts of energy and influxes of energy that are coming in are meant for good. They're meant for good. They're meant for cleansing. They're meant for purifying. They're meant for clearing things out. They're meant for restructuring. That's what this time is about right now. And so with the way that everything is being inverted, let me just say this, that the people that are in control right now, they are sorcerers. They work with dark chaos magic and sex magic, and they do dark satanic ritual abuse and many other things that go along with that. Part of that is fragmenting the psyche, breaking the psyche via trauma. And that's why all of these false flags, all of these things that we've seen. I mean, the FBI published a report that nobody was killed at Sandy Hook, and the masses just ignore things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the government is telling you right there that they lied about all of it, that all of it was just staged, that it was all theatrics. But people refuse to see, listen, or hear about any of it. And so right now, those that are in power, they're working their dark chaos magic via traumatic things like pushing people into fear via pandemic, via this outbreak, via having to wear masks and gloves and not being able to travel. I really suggest go watch last night's video. I don't know how long that one will be up, but that one, you know, they're restricting the right to travel in Austria and many other places, that you can't even travel right outside of your small area. You can't travel an hour away, a couple of hours away, out of your town, out of your province, out of your area, out of your jurisdiction, your county, whatever area that you're in, whatever part of the world, however it's all broken up and sectioned out. You're not going to be able to travel and leave or even be reintroduced back into society without some type of a certificate, an antibody certificate like Germany is offering right now. Again, all of these things I discussed in that 3.5-hour show last night. Tons and tons of information, what's going on around the world and what the end game is. It's genetic engineering. That's really where all of this is going. And so through that, we only allow the only way that can happen is if we allow it, and that we allow entry into our genetics essentially through these lower vibrational frequencies of anger and fear and all of the other things that come along with that, despair, frustration. And so it's not hard to go there. The sorcerers know this. Those empowered know the power of fear. But here's the thing, they also know the power of love. And that's why they're trying to keep people in fear as much as possible for as long as possible, because they know the power of love. And when people start waking up and realizing that, just coming back to the essence of who you are, that love of the Creator, all these things will literally dissolve. These things are going to dissolve away in the twinkling of an eye, and all things are going to be made new. And family, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I have faith and hope and trust and knowing that this is what's happening. These things are being exposed so that they can be dismantled. And that's what's happening, family. That's what we see is happening. And that can be a hard work. That can be a dirty work. And that can be a difficult work. It can be a painful work. And so we have to be careful. We have to be careful of being aware of the energy that we have inside of us and how it's being manipulated. These energies, again, that are being that are meant for good, that are coming through via the planets, via the biophotonic light of the sun and the other vibrational frequencies. I talked again last night about how the moon affects the waves, the tide, right? All of the seas and the lakes, the oceans. The moon affects all of the water on the earth, and our bodies are 78% water. And so these things really do affect us, and it's not spooky, it's not mumbo jumbo, but those energies are being inverted through fear and through trauma so that we can create essentially the reality that they want us to create, either a dystopian society or some kind of a cataclysmic event or an uprising on a worldwide scale. And I have a lot to say about that, because that started last year, and now with all of this what's going on in the world today, there's no protests, and that was worldwide, and that got shut down very quick. And so again, family, be aware of all things, be aware of self first and foremost, and don't allow things to trigger you. It's very, very easy in this time to be triggered, and so be aware. Just self-govern, just rule over your own spirit, family, and everything will come into line. Everything will come together. You'll see it come together right before your eyes. And so Caroline 13 watching, Colorado is beautiful. Colorado is beautiful. Lacey says, amen, sending the comforter to bring calming peace in this time. Jamie makes a good point. Learn what is edible all around you. That's something that my son has books on, herbs and what we call weeds that are actually more beneficial than the vegetables that are sold in grocery stores. And so learn what's edible all around you, and learn that plants are medicine. That is such an excellent comment, especially in this time right now. Heal your body naturally, family. We already know what the big P wants and controls, and they perpetuate the disease and just continue to pump you full of chemicals and try and make you believe that it's curing you when really it's killing you. And so learn what's edible around you, use plants as medicine, and again, download as much information as you can, because with the way things are shifting, people are even afraid to communicate via social media from these other countries. They're watching and being very careful and aware of what they're putting in print. And so You know, just get the information that's beneficial to you, like learning what's edible all around you, and learning about what kind of deceptions are being perpetrated on the masses and how you can best fight them. And again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but one of the best places to do that is this channel. And so subscribe, or on Facebook, be sure and follow me, and go, when you go to follow, get notifications, tap on see first. And so, and again, same with you on YouTube. When you hit the bell for notifications, go to all. That way you're getting all the notifications for every video I put out, because I don't know, I've had several of them removed in the past, and I just want to make sure that you guys get as much of this info as possible. Cypher9 says sun gaze, and I agree. Sun gazing is amazing. You do want to start out slow, because taking in that type of energy all at once in the beginning without working on balancing the elemental aspect of self can be very dangerous, and it can cause a lot of just massive energy backfires. And that's where you can feel really balanced, energized, good, clean energy, pure, deep breathing, clear breaths. Everything is crystal clear. It's so crystal clear, amazing. You're hearing from the creator, and then bam, something, it seems to sideswipe you, and you get triggered, and you just have an outburst, and that energy literally backfires. And so be sure that you're moving. Don't let that energy get stagnant. If you are sun gazing, make sure that you're shifting that energy around, transmuting it, even giving it away. I mean, you have your battery on your phone, if it, or any of your devices, if it stores up and gets enough power, then it will automatically stop charging. If it doesn't, then that battery will get overloaded and it can explode. And so essentially it's the same thing. You don't want to have that happen, because then you end up tearing holes in your aura, in your energetic field, poking holes. And just like we know, if we penetrate the skin with a needle, that's how you get a virus, right? Or if you get a cut, and fungus or bacteria is allowed to enter that cut and get into your bloodstream, it can get infected, right? And it's the same aspect with the energy aspect of self, that when we get that hole or that tear in our aura, then bacteria that shouldn't be there, things that shouldn't be there, energy that shouldn't be there is allowed in, allowed to creep in, and it can cause a lot of damage. And it can take a lot of time to repair itself, just like a cut on your finger. Sometimes they heal right up. Sometimes it's just, just a pain in the ass and doesn't want to heal, and just, again, gets infected and gets really nasty. And so sun gazing is good. Don't let that energy get stagnant. So we're at the end. Chloe does say she jumped in and said at work, but wanted to drop in to spread some love. And again, that's always appreciated when we do these lives. Again, we're sharing an energy here. We're building up. We're building, family. We're building that which is being broken down. We're building, and we're building on love. And so I appreciate you guys. Thank you for jumping in, joining, getting the information. If it was helpful to you, again, share it. And if you feel led, there's multiple ways that you can donate to the work and the research that I do. You can do that on PayPal. You can do that on Cash App, and you can do that on Venmo. PayPal is / Walk in Wisdom. Cash App is $ JWC44, and Venmo is at Joseph-Cisneros -76. And again, that info is in the description as well, family. And so I know things are hard for everybody, but if you feel that to support the work that I do, again, spend a lot of time putting these things together. And so I will catch you guys later with hopefully some good footage of what the hospitals look like here locally in the Denver metro area in Colorado. And so I wish you guys nothing but love, reassurance of strength and that sound mind. Philip Bernhardt, Schmucky jumped in. Philip, you're always appreciated, man. One of the last comments up here. Not often I catch a live, but watched all after. Much love to you, your family, and channel participants. I feel so much soul connection between us all, and that's what this is all about, family. That's why, believe me, I mean, fuck, excuse the language, but fuck, we're all going through it, family. We're all experiencing very difficult times right now. And that's part of why I continue to do what I do and dive into the depths of some of these pits that I dive into to bring the information and the awareness that I do to help expand the consciousness of this community, this worldwide community, and connect us more with that which we disconnected ourselves from. Again, we've got to realize that we've disconnected ourselves in these ways. And so I appreciate you, family. Thank you for jumping in, catching the live. I did only plan on pretty much mirroring that video, but when the creator has things that need to be said, I believe that I need to say them. And so hopefully it was for one of you or multiple of you out there, whether it's during the live or during the replay. And again, I just want to just wish you nothing but wholeness and balance out those elements. There's a lot of fire burning right now, and a lot of waves crashing, and it's a battle that is just going back and forth. It's swaying, and it's swaying the hearts of men and women all over the place, all over the world. And so be steady, be still, be at peace. That peace is only found within, which is where the truth resides. The Spirit of God, the Most High, dwells within you, family. And so love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, which means love yourself, family. Forgive yourself, love yourself with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, with that love of the Creator. And love your neighbor in that same way. Love your neighbor as yourself, because those earthen vessels house that same Spirit of the Most High. And family, we're here to comfort one another. We're here to lift one another up, not to tear each other down. And so do that. Be the disciples of Christ, Krishna, Buddha. Exactly, Karen Lynn. Yeah. Be the disciples, the Christos, the anointing of God. And so be that today, family. Be that in the now and moving forward.